Hello, today I will try to complete a maze that is literally packed with brain rots, and among them there are both friendly and hostile ones. Make sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel, because this challenge will be really difficult, and I suggest that we begin. So here we have a start button, we press it, and this is the first level of the maze. Here we have a barrel, and inside this barrel there is a book. Let us see what is inside it. Here the rules are written. You must play only in adventure mode, not in creative or survival. And you must also play alone. The goal is to find a button, place it on the light blue concrete, and escape from the maze. Well then, let us follow the rules. I switched to adventure mode, and now we go explore the maze. There are many passages here, and after wandering around a bit, I came across a depression where Bobrito Bandito was located. I honestly did not know whether this brain rot was hostile or not. When I got closer to him, he hit me and I realized that yes, he was hostile. Because of that, I ran past him and ended up on the other side of the maze. Here I made circular turns, which eventually led me back to the beginning. I realized that this was the wrong path and started looking for another passage. Eventually, not far from Bobrito, I found another descent. There were no brain rots here, but there was a pressure plate. When I stepped on it, it simply turned me around and dealt damage to me. Honestly, at that moment I did not even understand what had happened. While walking through the maze, I noticed BRBR Patapim, but I do not think that I should be afraid of him, because he should be a friendly brain rot. Wandering through the maze, I encountered Tralalelo Tralala, but despite his hostile appearance, he was friendly and did not attack me. Going a little further, I encountered Cappuccino Assassino. At first, he was just standing there, and I already thought that he was friendly, but then he noticed me, and oh my god, he is incredibly fast. I could not escape from him, and he killed me. I realized that this was a dangerous opponent, and that it was better to avoid him. I started over, and this time I chose a different path. At first, I went into dead ends, but then I came across Ballerina Lololo. I did not know whether she was hostile, but her intense stare scared me. I decided to quickly run past her, and she dealt a very strong hit to me. Near her, there was another brain rot, and he was also hostile. However, there was still a dead end there, so it was not that disappointing. In general, near Ballerina Lololo, there were only dead ends, and here was the problem. I needed to run past her again, but this time, I could not do it. She hits extremely hard, and also knocks you back. I realized that I was trapped, and the only way to get out was to die, and that is exactly what I did. Alright, let us start again. I once again returned to the tunnel with the pressure plate, because I felt that I needed to go there, but I still could not solve the puzzle of how to pass it. I went to look for other paths, but the only thing I found was Assassino Cappuccino, who of course chased after me. I ran to Bandito Bobrito, and there they trapped me. I went again to search for a way forward and noticed the incredible mutant Tung 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 Sahur. However, the scariest thing was not him, but the fact that Assassino Cappuccino noticed me through the wall. I realized this because of the katanas sticking out from behind the blocks. Eventually, he ran out from behind the wall and chased me, and I decided to try to run away from him. I prayed that I would not end up in a dead end, but this guy is not the type who lets his prey go. I led him too close to the start and aggroed him again. I ran to Ballerina Lololo and left him there. It was already getting dark, and I finally decided to solve the pressure plate puzzle. I tried to run through it quickly, but that did not work. I decided to look for some other path where I had not been, but the only thing I found was dead ends. I was sneaking while holding shift, so that Assassino would not notice me. I realized that the most reliable way was to try once again to solve the pressure plate puzzle, and I thought, what if I walk backwards? And you will not believe it, it worked. I got to a place where I had not been before, but there was a huge mutant Tung 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 Sahur, and next to him there were two buttons that I needed to reach. I decided to carefully approach, but he still noticed me. Fortunately, he is very large and cannot move freely through the maze. I decided to just run and press a button. Of course, I chose the very first one, but it turned out to be trolling from the map creator, and I was spawned at the very beginning. I went back and decided to run through again, but this time to the second button, and that did not work either. I returned and tried once more, and this time I managed to press it and was given a button, but I immediately died. I quickly returned, picked up the button, and ran away from there. Now the main thing was not to get lost and die in this maze. But unfortunately, I met Assassino Cappuccino, and not a single encounter with him had ever ended successfully. This one was no exception. And damn, this is very bad. Now the button is located near him, and in order to pick it up, I absolutely need to get into his line of sight. I tried to run away from him, but in the end, I led him to the start, where he immediately met me. This happened several more times, and then by some miracle he disappeared somewhere. I picked up the button and went further and turned somewhere I had not been before, and you will not believe it, I found the exit. But as it turned out, the button needs to be placed on the blue concrete at the beginning of the maze, and I completely forgot about that. Because of this, I went back, and on the way I found some passage where Espresso Signora was standing, and she was also not friendly. But it was probably a good thing that she got stuck on the stairs. I returned to the start and placed the button. Now I need to return there again, although I did not remember the path, and hoped that I would make it back without any problems. In the end, after wandering through the maze for several minutes, I ran into Cappuccino Assassino and started running away from him. Luckily, I found the path to the exit and ran to it. Assassino Cappuccino caught up to me, but I made it in time, and with half a heart left, I was teleported into the victory room. I was just a hair away from death. But I succeeded, and I completed the BRAINROT maze. I hope you enjoyed my playthrough. On that note, I will be ending the video. Thank you all for watching, good luck to everyone, and goodbye.